Hello HEMA friends and welcome to this new video. In the first part of this one you will find dynamics of the sparring, which I had with my student Marco, and in the second part of it you will find a discussion about how I approach my opponents, especially when I face them for the first time, which targets I search first and why. I hope you will enjoy. Now, generally speaking, when I approach the opponent in the first exchanges, I try to go for the hands or arms, and this is generally speaking common for me and my students for the most part, on average, not every one of them, of course, but this is because my way of dealing with fencing is generally is based on the assumption that you want to incapacitate the opponent. And you want to incapacitate the opponent from being able to fight, generally speaking. And this overlaps very well with many other contexts in which you apply fencing, which may be, of course, sport and tournaments, etc., but also with any kind of situation in which you would apply fencing, fun enough. Be it an idealized first blood duel, for instance, or anything else. Incapacitating the opponent from being able to fight means that you have won the fight, which doesn't mean that you have to stab the opponent on the deep target or do any other nasty things. You can do it, of course, but you can even incapacitate the opponent with a simple tiny little cut to the fingers or the forearm, and it's enough. And that's why my fencing is, generally speaking, based in this kind of way. So hitting the arms first and then building up actions which are going to the deep target is simply a way to build up also tactics in a good way. So you start with, generally speaking, let's say the easiest target to reach, and then you go deeper, let's say, and you try to search for more noble targets, let's say, or harder to reach, which is not necessarily always useful, but it is anyway a good way of training and learning how to solve problems in a different way. Depending from the situation in which you would apply fencing, of course, we apply it in sparring and in tournaments. We do not have, luckily, any other way of applying fencing, but of course we also can role play a little, because that's also why, to an extent, HEMA is about. So figuring out ways to apply fencing in situations which are slightly different from the one we have to approach nowadays. And if we role play a little, we find out that this way of approaching targets in a progressive way, so from farther away to noble / deep targets, is a very good way to build up tactics and techniques also in whatever kind of environment you are going to apply your fencing, which is reasonable and is one of those things which fit any situation in which you apply fencing. And so it makes training and teaching more homogeneous, I will say. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that you have to always apply your fencing in this way. You don't always have to search for this kind of targets with any opponent, but it's kind of a rule that you can break whenever you want, if the opponent doesn't fit this kind of progressive approach, let's say. But on average, is one of the safest way in which you can fence, like searching for the easiest target to get at first, and if doesn't work, or if it is not enough, you search for others, or you hammer constantly that target if it is needed, or whatever. So it's not a rule, but it's a very good idea to start from, let's say, and then build up other options and the situation from that kind of, let's say, plan that you have, which fits a good number of cases, which is already good enough, and then you change in whatever direction you need based on whatever kind of opponent you're going to face. Very good, people. I hope you will find the video useful in some ways. Remember to check my Patreon link in the description if you want to support me, but especially the channel, and let me keep doing what I do. Thanks for watching as always, and see you next time.